What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me again today. We're going to be taking a look at how to build a really simple text editor using Python. So nothing quite as crazy or as fancy as, like Vim or Emacs or whatever, but this is just going to allow you to quickly create, edit, save, delete text files using Python. So we can do it all through the CLI. Fun little tool to learn about how we handle files, and just a good little way to get some practice in. So let's jump into it. First thing we're going to need to do is import OS. Now we're going to declare our different functions. So what do we actually want to be able to achieve? So we're going to need to create a file. So create file. We will want to obviously read that file. So read file. We'll want to be able to write to the file. So define write file. We want to be able to append to a file, so we're not just starting fresh each time. So append file. We want to get rid of a file if we're done with it, so delete file. And then, what else might we want to do? I think it's probably the main functions that we want to be tackling. So we'll give ourselves a main function to be able to run from. And then we'll say to run main. Excellent. All right. So let's start with creating a file. So to create a file, we're going to give it a file name. So file name equals input, enter a file name. And then you can choose your own adventure as to what you want to do there. So we'll make sure the file doesn't already exist. So if os.path.exists, file name, then print file already exists. Please choose another name. Else we'll open the file. Sorry, no, we won't open the file. We'll create the file. And we do that with open file name. We'll do that in write mode as file. Pass. Then print f file name. I just fingers wrong places on the keyboard today. File name has been created. Let's put a full stop up here, otherwise it will bug me. It has been bugging me this entire time. Excellent, read file. So we're going to ask what file to read. So file name equals input, enter file name. I suppose you could do this as creating a list and then enumerating through it, selecting which file. We're just going to go with, hey, type in the file name. If os path dot exists, file name, then we want to with os path, no, if os path file exists with open file name in read mode as file, print file.read. I'll give you your output from the file, else print print file was not found, please check spelling. Which I think is probably going to be the main reason you see that issue. If you know that the file exists, you've probably typed it in wrong, which is why this isn't the best input method, but it is an input method. Suppose you could also condense this down to, if it doesn't find the file when you go to read a file, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to create a file? And then you could use the create function. We're not going to do that though. But just ideas to throw out there. So if we want to write to the file, we'll go file name equals input, enter file name, and then if os.path.exists file name, then we'll get a text input. So input, enter text. Then with open, then we type correctly. With open file name in write mode as file. File. It's all going terribly wrong, folks. File dot write text, and then we will print f text written to file name. Said it in a few videos, but that assumes everyone watches every video I make, which of course you should. Including the f here allows us to drag in variables directly to the total string rather than breaking it out and having a multi-segment print, or it makes life a lot easier, but you don't always need it, which is where we don't have variables in here. You can leave out the f. Perfect. Else print, I was just going to do the same else as this. Let's copy and paste it. Excellent. Tabbing's all gone wrong, but otherwise we are in the happy place. Excellent. Okay. So, let's do an append. So, file name equals input, enter file name. We'll check if it exists. Path.exists file name. Yep. Text equals input, enter text. Then we will, with open file name in append mode as file, file.write text plus, we'll add a new line character in there to drop down a line at the end. Print f before the quotation marks, text appended to file name. Alright. We'll do our copy and paste for our else. Now we'll do our delete function. I almost feel like I should just be copy and pasting most of the function because it's really just the OS function that we're calling that changes. No, there's a few differences. That's okay. Repetition's good for learning anyway. File name equals input, enter file name. Then if os.path.exists file name, then we want to use os to remove. So s.remove file name. So if you're ever writing a script, you need to delete a heap of files in batch. Maybe you copy them somewhere and then you want to get rid of them. There you go, os.remove, include the os library. Print f file name has been deleted. And our cheeky else statement. Perfect. Alright, so that's our core functionality done. Let's set up a menu to run everything. So while true, easiest way to enter in, means exit you can just break out. Go print. We do a million print statements, so let's just copy and paste that. /n text file editor menu and 1 create new file. 2 read a file. 3 write to a file. 4 append to a file. 5 delete file. 6 quit. Choice equals input enter choice. And then let's start calling functions. So if choice equals 1, we call create file. Elif choice equals, let's copy that because we're going to do a few of these, 2. Then we want to read file. As remember, double or triple equals for comparison. Single is for assigning. Elif choice. Glad I copied and pasted that because it's getting used so well right now. Choice equals 3. Probably going to copy with a typo anyway. Alright, then we want to write file. So the choice is 4. We want to append file. If the choice is 5. We want to delete file. If choice is 6, we want to break out of our loop, which will essentially close the program. Else print invalid menu choice. Okay. Let's give it a test run. Fire it up. Alright, so we'll go Python. No. Text editor.py. We've got our menu. Let's try creating a file. We'll go test file name .txt. File test file name.txt has been created. Let's read a file. Test file name.txt. It's empty, so that's fair. Let's go right to it. Test file name, wishing I called it something smaller. Enter text. This is the text. It's been written, so read it. Make sure it's in there. Test file name.txt. We can see that this is the text. Let's Let's write another line to it. Test file name.txt. This is also the text. Read it again. Test file name.txt. And we can see that it says only this is also the text. And that's because we've used the write to file. So write to file is going to overwrite whatever's in there. And then if you use write to file again, it's just going to overwrite it again. So if you want to add a line, we'll go for append, and we'll go test file name.txt, and we're going to append this should go at the end. Text appended. So let's open the file again. 3 test file name.txt. And there we see it. Now, because on our write file we didn't use a new character line at the end, it doesn't drop down. But if we go for test file name.txt, more stuff, to test file name.txt, we'll see that that's dropping new lines each time. So I'm sick of writing test file name over and over again because it was a silly thing to call. It's far too long. Delete file test file name.txt. File's been deleted. Let's try read it to make sure it's gone. Test file name.txt. File not found. Please check spelling. Alright, and 6, quit. Happy days, folks. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you found this useful. If you have, drop a like. If you've got any feedback or any comments, questions, drop a comment down below. If you're keen to stay up to date with what I'm working on, hit subscribe, click the little bell icon. Anything that you can give me as far as engagement goes is appreciated. I'm still starting out, so anything that helps get this out to more people, I really appreciate your help with. So thank you for joining me again. Until next time, have a good one.